All right, guys, getting ready here. That stop and reverse long trade ended up being a pretty sizable winner on Spotlight. We will review it in a bit. So we shall see the reaction. Again, this is the crude oil inventory report session. Got my 377 December crude oil contract, 377 tick. We should see a reaction to the report any moment. There it is. And let's see, we've got a pretty tight range established. Let's see if this is going to break out beyond. It's like a 36-cent range and now trading right in the middle. So let's hope we start moving one way or another. Of course, we wait our 2 minutes. There's the first setup. Well, there was a long, of course, but that was only 16 seconds out. A lot could happen in the next minute and a half or so, 1 minute. And testing, all right, breaking out. Okay, that's always a good sign. At least we're expanding the range from the initial reaction. So no setups at this point to keep our, to keep track of, and we still got an eternity, 50 seconds, 40 seconds before we start. Time is relative, is it not? Half a minute to go. That's the squeeze zone preventing the long trade. All right, so we're flat. We've got 10 seconds, 5 seconds to go, and we'll just wait for the next setup. The squeeze zone, that trade could become valid. If the 50 pushes lower and the entry pops up around it, and there's the first long trade, and it happened really fast. So if you can grab a long at 17, it would have to come back and pull back and give us the entry, and the stop would be at 98. I haven't been filled yet. Never came down to 17. The target would be 38, which is the high of the day. Target 345.
Order filled.
And it did just trigger long. So now let's see if it can continue upwards. We are right in the middle of the range, so hopefully this is a reaction into our 50 and we get another leg up, but a pretty tight range and trading right in the middle, which is never a good sign. But maybe it'll, well, we'll see. So now we got a possible stop and reverse at 04. 04 is your 2-tick adjustment plus or minus the key level, and it may cancel. Let's hope we push higher here. We are chopping around in the middle of the reactions range. Let's see, keep pushing up. That's what we need. So that stop and reverse is canceled, and the stop should go back to 98. It failed to get lower, and it found support at the 200 moving average. So hopefully this sets up a rally and we could test the highs of that reaction, but sitting right in the middle of our range, again, never a good sign, but a lot could happen. And it did just hit money management. So at least we are at a risk-free position. Make sure you lock in your 1 tick. Where's the follow through? Actually, the stop has now moved to 19, which is 2 ticks.
Order filled.
And it just hit target 2. And it just, did it hit target 3? Yes, it did. Move your stop now. Stop moves up to 39, 70.39, and still hanging in there, and finished. There you go. One and done. Looked a little dicey as it consolidated in the middle of a very tight range, but then it decided to give us the subsequent action move. Don't you love it when that happens? So if you think about from here to here being your first action move after it was unable to break through the 200 moving average on that, it tested the range of the reaction, broke through just a little bit. Remember, the failure to follow through on that breakout will often lead to a strong move in the opposite direction, and we got it perfectly because we were able to grab a setup which was really the tail end of the first action move. It was also the second smaller action move inside of the larger one. Remember, I said you have to think a little bit abstract with different time frames on this, but the reaction came down into the 50, found support, and basically gave us a subsequent action move which was nearly identical to the first, hitting all our targets, and a beautiful trade. It's a nice outcome. Hopefully you guys are happy, but that's it. We're done. The crude oil report, another successful session in the bag. Hopefully everyone's happy.